focus on the investment. Don't focus on the payment.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Change in the Market. I'm your host today, Kevin Chamala, and with us is CEO of the Masiello Group and two-time best-selling author, Chris Masiello. How are we doing today, Chris?
Good, Kevin. Good to be with you. Good to be with everybody in our community, as always.
Of course. Thank you for joining us today. And what I want to talk about today with the holidays around the corner, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, etc., is to talk about some of the common beliefs, some would say common misconceptions, fallacies about housing and seasonal markets and how to take advantage of those quote unquote seasonal markets. So would you mind sharing some insight of what that means to you and what you've taken that to mean over the length of your career?
Yeah, that's such a great topic, Kevin. And of course, it's a busier time of year. It's just, rattled through all the different holidays we've got coming up. And of course, it's, we're occupied with preparing for family and, gift giving and all these celebrations and all these other things, which typically in the housing industry, you would see a slowdown because moving can be, or is, it's a large endeavor. And people are more focused on retail shopping than they are house shopping right now. I think, though, that one of the things that I've learned over the years in my business career, and it certainly would extend to a seasonality aspect, is that typically the very best opportunities are found when you're going to places where other people are not. So in a period of time when we're seeing, the traditional slowdown of the housing market, inventory tends to build a little bit. You tend to have a lot less competition, right? We're still seeing multiple offers. So this is a great time if you want to avoid multiple offer scenario. This is a great time to be in the market, now through maybe the end of February, but more so now. And so it feels a little counterintuitive. However, that's where all the opportunity is for you to, figure out how to be where other people aren't, and then take advantage of, in this particular case, inventory and all that. So
with that, a couple of weeks ago, we had Laura Chapman on from CMG Home Loans, CMG Financial, who gave us insight and broke down some of the creative loan programs and packages that are available today for consumers to take advantage of. So how does that fit into the conversation that we're having today? Yeah,
it fits perfectly. There's so many creative loan programs coming out now. A lot of them are really around refinancing, because this blip in rates, we all understand this to be a moment in time. We don't understand this to be permanent. And if you think about it in terms like this, the average homeowner will own their house somewhere between 7 and 9 years right now. And those are kind of like, and when you start talking about 9, 10 years, I actually think we'll probably see that number go up a little bit. These are very long-term investments. And so when you're making long-term investments, you really need not focus too much on the short terms. So the interest rate is kind of a short-term inconvenience. And I don't mean to minimize the increase in the payments in any way. It's just that when you're talking over 7, 8, 9, 10 years, if it's a year or two worth of a slightly larger payment, it's not a large period of time in comparison. And so I think they will take like the refinance programs where they will allow you to refinance, down the road. And it's up to 5 years. So anytime from the time you purchase and get your loan to 5 years from that date, inception date, then you can refinance at no cost. That's pretty amazing. I mean, that bleeds almost all of the rate risk out of it, all of it. And so I think if you parlay programs like that into this time of year, where if someone's selling right now, they're probably pretty motivated because they've got a reason to be on the market right now, and then you're going to have a lot less competition as it relates to multiple offers. The market is still strong, so sales prices are still strong, but you won't be in a multiple offer position, or less likely to be, I should say. And so when you combine all that, it makes it really for a great time.
Oh, couldn't agree more. And I think what also gets lost in translation, which I think you were alluding to at a great point, is that with a longer investment means that you're going to also increase the equity you have in that home, which in essence puts you in a better position financially in the long term, as opposed to having that short-term mindset with interest rates, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you talk to your investment advisor, he or she will tell you, the stock market moves up and down. They're like, don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Right? You get your 401k statement, right? Sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's down here. And what do they always tell you? Don't look at it because it's going to move around a little bit. I think it's, housing prices aren't moving around. So that's not, we're still in a positive appreciation mode. But certainly the interest rate can have that same equation as to, don't look at your stock portfolio as it goes up and down. And, don't focus on the investment. Don't focus on the payment, because the payment will move up and down because rates are going to come down. As a matter of fact, I saw my first article where they were really speculating pretty aggressively about rates coming down. We don't need to get into that here, but the chatter is out there now. So it's a great time. It's always a little scary to be doing things that seem counterintuitive. Mm-hmm. But a lot of things that are counterintuitive, Kevin, are how we're socialized. They don't actually reside in fact.
Yes. Couldn't have said it better.
Right.
No, that's 100% spot on. And I think that's a great way to leave people with this message as we dive into the holiday season. Be where the opportunity lies and where people are not. That's where you're going to gain the most advantage in most situations, I should say, especially in this housing market.
Yeah. Except you always want to be first up for turkey on Thanksgiving. So,
Absolutely. And we'll close with that. So I think that's a great message, great takeaway for our listeners today as we go into the holiday season. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, family, Facebook, LinkedIn. Thank you, Chris, for your time today. And we look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Change of the Market.
Great. Good to be with everybody. Take care. Thanks, Kevin.